Another question we had was about issues of resolving equity disparities in the community, specifically how the county plan gives a framework for actions like traffic routes, housing quality, public transit, and trying to resolve inequities that have been present in the community to the present day.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Evan, if you want to go ahead and take. So I actually really appreciate that question because I don't think we really used the term equity too much in our presentation, but it's definitely part of the plan. And when you want to focus on the transportation system, you really need to take into account who are the users of the system, where you're planning the facilities. And as you do that, you are directly responding to the needs of that community. Evan, I don't know if you want to expand on that at all, but it's definitely part of our, it's wrapped up into the plan.
Yeah, and I mean, I think if you look at over the last couple of years, whether it be most recently the Safe Streets resolution, the housing compact that I mentioned earlier, the health and all policies resolution that the board passed a couple of years ago, really baked into all of those is making sure that as we move forward and we're making decisions around investment that the county is going to be making, that equity is going to be front and center, and figuring out it as the question alludes to, the plan Pinellas is a framework and it gives that kind of initial direction. And I think what we've been doing as staff and as the board is furthering that and refining that through the compact and bringing these resolutions forward, and the work that Ford Pinellas is doing in equity also is really important. So I think it's baked into basically everything we're doing now. And our goal, and I do want Becca to talk a little bit more about this. I mean, I think our goal is to continue to track that progress in a very public way so that you as the resident, as the reader, can see how we're doing, can see how we're actually creating or hopefully making some change in those areas.
Yeah, I can add to that. What Evan is referring to is that we really we're in the process of and really want to tie metrics to the document. And that doesn't necessarily mean that every policy is going to have a measure or a metric associated with it, but it's really finding where those interrelationships exist and what is the right way to determine, are we achieving that? Kind of the struggle that we can have is that a lot of these results are long-term. This doesn't happen tomorrow. This doesn't happen necessarily next year. It's a long-term effort, and a lot of factors play into achieving our goals, and that's the trick. But how we define the correct measures allow us to see what progress we're making towards our end goal, and also allow us to almost be a check and balance. Do we have the right policy in place to get there? So that's something that we definitely intend to tie to this document.